What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to episode number 14 of the Pre-Patch Podcast. Everybody's showing off their shirts, showing off the. Okay, Enigma, your turn. Show your merch off. Show your shirt off.
I'm showing it. I'm showing it right now. You guys can't see it.
Get these guys some fucking puppers and let's go.
Oh,
is my camera broken or something? Like, you guys can't see this?
No,
oh, damn.
no.
Sorry, guys.
No, but your audio still is. No, I'm just kidding. Your audio is not.
Yeah.
But welcome in, everybody. How are you guys doing? It is 10 p.m. on a Thursday night, which means it is Pre-Patch Podcast night. Let's go. Obviously, we have got the entire crew here to hold it down. As always, it's a spicy episode. Again, we Twitch never fails us, so we always have something to talk about.
Thank you, Twitch.
Obviously, I am one of your hosts, Sinan. I could not do this without my amazing crew. I've got Scruffy over here. What's going on, Scruff?
What's going on, guys?
I've got Bill holding it down. What's up, Bill?
Heyo.
And obviously, the man with no face, Mr. Enigma. How are you doing, Enigma?
I will note that I literally have no face.
No, he has no face. He has no face.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's great. Like he's pretty much gets to walk around like Marshmallow and Deadmau5. So it's
I think it's gonna be the thing now, man.
Yep.
Like I'm just gonna have to.
You can never do a face reveal. Absolutely never do a face
can,
reveal.
yeah.
So but for everybody that is tuning in live, thank you so much. We are live on my channel over at twitch.tv/Sinan, over on Scruffy's channel at twitch.tv/Agent Scruffy, and over on Bill's channel at twitch.tv /Billy_the_squid, spelled SKWID.
Hell yeah.
But if you are not live and you are listening to us or wanting to catch us after the fact, you are either listening to us on Spotify, and you guys can hit !podcasts and all of our channels and get the Spotify link. Head over there, follow that. All of the episodes are now up, correct, guys? I think we're
all of them but last week's.
All of them but last week's,
which should be up fairly quickly. Yeah.
There you go. All of them but last week's episode is up there and live. And then we also obviously have a YouTube channel as well that you can go to and take a look at that and click on there and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to watch the actual show. We upload those.
The craziest thing is I was sitting there uploading all those episodes up to Spotify. It just kind of popped into my brain. We have over 24 hours worth of episodes, like over.
That's awesome.
That's a full
whole entire
day.
worth
That's
of content.
crazy, bro.
Yep, that is.
Wow.
That's awesome. So you guys can spend an entire day. You can do a 24-hour marathon of listening to our sexy voices. And everybody knows that you got to have at least 24 hours of a sin rant somewhere in your life. Otherwise, it's just not
There's
complete.
going to be one someplace in there.
Yeah, you got to get
It's
one.
definitely
At least on an hour.
So, but also too, want to give a huge shout out. If you guys have been a regular on the show and have noticed and have been following, we didn't go out and blast out anything special about it. We wanted to drop it little by little, but huge props and shout outs to Sunsprite Bay for our amazing new logo that we've got, our amazing new starting and ending screen that we've got. Seriously, couldn't be happier with the artwork. It looks amazing. And then obviously we've got the new.
It's really fucking good.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're all extremely happy. So huge shout out to Sunsprite Bay. If you guys are looking for some artwork to get done, reach out to her. She does amazing work.
To preface that, we always say,
don't be space cadets.
Pay your artists.
Pay your artists. Inside joke for anybody that wants to know. But anyway, but I mean, seriously, pay your artists. That's not a joke. Pay your artists.
Yeah.
But in any case, guys, we always are super happy to do this and be here and have this show live every other Thursday. So make sure, again, if you guys are listening to the show after the fact, tune in. Check us out. Come on Twitch, hang out, because you guys get to be part of the show. Toward the end of the podcast, we actually go in and open it up for questions. So that's a reminder to all you guys out there in the Twitch verse. Make sure that you're getting your questions ready and prepped up, because we always like to ask and answer your questions at the end of the show. So with that being said, we're gonna jump right into it. So laundry list of stuff to talk about. I mean, we've got Doc, we've got Ninja, we've got Hellpoint, Mortal Shell, we got Brime, we've got Brime Time, we've got Crime Brime Time, you know, whatever other rhyme you can come up with.
Subscribe with Twitch Prime.
Yeah, you know, we've got it all. And then obviously on top of that too, we had new footage for a League of Legends champion that leaked that you know, or not leaked, but came out that we want to talk about. And then we also
got the leak for the other champion as well too. I mean, it's not confirmed, but if I remember correctly, it's all but confirmed more or less. Like it's pretty much that.
And then we also have the stuff with Assassin's Creed Valhalla showed their
I forgot about that.
They had their fight, kind of boss fight that got shown. And you know, WoW announced some stuff too, that, you know, we can kind of talk to as well. So again, action packed, just jacked full show tonight. So it's gonna be a great show. So
it's gonna be a good one.
Where do we start?
I think that, I mean,
reach into the grab bag and pull out a topic.
Yeah. So I want to throw down real quick into something that we touched on last week, right? And well, I don't even actually. Hold on one sec. Let me look at the fucking calendar. I don't think it came up last week, did it? Because it happened. It didn't, because it happened after the show.
Yeah,
so
literally the day after the show.
Literally the day after the show, Dr. Disrespect just vanished right off of fucking Twitch, gone, permabanned. Like,
and people think that we're kidding when we say that like Twitch is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, no, it does. It just
like legitimately, we just got done with a podcast about like flaming them for the shit that they pulled last week.
Yep.
Or the week of, right?
Right.
And literally the day after, they pull another one.
They must be watching our podcast or something. Like they need
Obviously.
more.
Absolutely. Go. Yeah. It's fucking crazy. I mean, it just they know that we can't not have stuff to talk about, which is awesome. So thank you, Twitch, for all for you know, giving us content. But yeah, so if anybody is not aware, which unless you're living under a fucking rock, I don't understand how you couldn't be aware. But Dr. Disrespect, the Doc, the Champions Club, you know, Mr. I'm gonna stream in a public bathroom and record a 14-year-old taking a piss, you know, just the outlandishness that he is, got permabanned.
Disappeared.
Like, yeah, like we're not talking just a typical ban like what happened to him when he did decide to go into the bathroom and record a 14-year-old taking a piss. We're talking about a full-blown, like, just nuclear bomb went off, like gone.
Yeah.
And to the extent that not only did he get permabanned, they refunded every one of his subs for that month. Like, like all
which
his
means that he ain't coming back.
Right.
I didn't know that.
His emotes are gone. You can no longer use the emotes. Like, just so you know, anybody that gets banned off of Twitch, you're still actually able to use the emotes for the time that you have.
You ride their subscription out until the end of whatever term it was. Yeah.
These emotes are gone, like gone. So anybody that subbed to them got refunded for the past month. And in the wake of all of this happening, we then like start seeing stuff about Brime. Right. And all of a sudden this Brime stuff comes up, which is Watch Brime, you know, and it just kind of came out and was like, we're going to make an announcement on Monday. And then Doc was like, I'm making an announcement on Monday. So everybody put the two together and all of these kind of things. Right. And then Monday came, Brime did their whatever announcement it was, which was like Q&A, which was like, hey, we're here. And
we're a streaming service.
Right.
They gave a Discord that is broken.
Right.
A broken Discord.
Like it's the most meme-ish thing that could actually exist.
Yeah.
And then nothing. Like Doc has still not come out and said anything. Twitch has not come out and said anything.
He said one thing.
What was that?
One thing last week, and that was that Twitch has not contacted him with the exact reason of his ban.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? So
allegedly,
I'm gonna settle one thing across the board, right? So again, I say this quite a bit, but being in this industry, working in this industry, working from on legal, you know, NDAs, contracts, disclosures, and things of that nature. And also to reading the Twitch affiliate like TOS and agreements and things of that nature, just to make it very clear, Twitch has no, under law, legal reason to tell anybody why you are getting banned. They don't have to tell you anything. to even take it a step further, not only do they not have to tell you anything, they can ban you and then tell you that all of the content, if your VODs, if your content that you uploaded to YouTube came from a Twitch stream, those all have to come down on top of that, right? Even in a contract where they are the partnership contract states that they are able to take down your account no matter what for any given reason that they may feel, right? Now in there it's got TOS and things of that nature, but that means that they can take your account down at any point in time, right? And they don't have to tell you anything. So
it brings me back to like the Phantom Lord ban from a while ago. They did the same thing with him. They didn't give him an actual reason. Everybody knows it was because of the CS Lotto and all that shit. Right. But he tried to countersue them for not disclosing a reason and like for damages due to lost funds and stuff. And he fucking took the big L on that one.
Oh yeah,
that's the same. It's the same thing with Pay Money Wubby a while back ago, right? He had to literally pressure them to tell him exactly why he was banned, and then it was some bullshit reason of, oh well, you were invading the privacy of somebody that was in the diner, and he's like, no.
Right. Well, so here's the thing that a lot of people are like, oh, well, he's technically in a, contract and they paid him and they owe him, blah, blah, blah. And he could sue for a breach of contract. Absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. Can he go and sue them on a breach of contract for anything? Because then if at any point in time, if you legitimately think that this massive entity that is known as Amazon is going to be like, oh, we're going to do everything or anything that possibly is going to cause a lawsuit. Like, they're not. And secondly, inside of those contracts, it doesn't matter what the contract states. The agreement that he made to be a partner is the over binding agreement to everything. The contract is underneath that umbrella. So if his account gets banned, the contract becomes null and void in any case. So he is not owed or due any kind of money whatsoever. He can't sue them and go after them and say, oh, well, he 100%, like, I need to get paid or I need XYZ. The only way that he can even attempt a lawsuit is if they did not pay him for the amount of time that he streamed, if that's the way that the contract was set up. But there's a lot of legalities that go into that are, I'm sure Twitch did not pull a fucking Mixer and just be like, oh yeah, here's fucking 40 million up front, like, or whatever. So,
well, that's probably why you haven't heard anything from him, is because he probably has an NDA.
It's all going through legal.
Yeah, it's all going through lawyers. He's he's probably over there trying to figure out what he can say, what he can't say, what they can sue him for, what they can't sue him for, everything like that. Trying to probably figure out how he can get his money from him, obviously, because they. If I remember correctly, you were telling me, Sid, that they had just re-upped his contract.
Like, oh yeah, no, I mean this wasn't that long ago. I mean, it was
around the same time that they were doing the.
It was Summit and all of those guys just got re-upped, so it was not long. He was maybe like 2-3 months into his contract with them at this point. And there's a lot of speculations too. Like if you go and you look at like his last video, people are going to be like, oh, well, Doc's video, it was not him and he was acting weird. And I've watched Doc off and on. I've watched his content for a long time. I'm not a massive Doc fan, but I do like some of his stuff. And I can tell you that toward the end, whenever you see him look at his phone, there is a change in his demeanor. Like it's slight, it's subtle, but it is still a change in his demeanor. I'm telling you, I have watched him enough of it.
So have I. Yeah, like I've watched.
I was
him
with Enigma
enough.
on this one, and I watched. There's a YouTube psychologist or like behavioral psychologist and stuff that like reviewed the last thing, and he pointed out a few things that were like tells that I didn't pick up on initially, but maybe I just don't watch the doc enough. But it just seemed like regular doc to me.
That's what I was about to say. The problem is like Doc's character is so out there that like we don't know what his normal like, because he can go from like being 150 miles per hour to being like 0 in the span of a second, right?
Yeah,
I've seen it happen on his streams too. To me personally, he was watching this streamer on YouTube, I believe, playing Roblox, some kind of a Roblox challenge mode or something like that. To me personally, it looked like he was just like making fun of it. And he was just like, "Oh, look at where streaming is going,"
But that happened after he got the text message. Like if you look at where he was, like he was in the stream, he was doing his thing. right? He's talking, reading chat, talking about Champions Club, talking about shit, talking about how he's the greatest or whatever. There's a moment where he literally pulls up his phone and looks down. He sees his phone and the comment is made, well, now I don't want to get off, right? I just want to keep going. And that's when he switched over to Roblox. And so, because one of the things is that Twitch is more known for in these kind of cases is that if the account is still streaming, that they're not going to go in and shut it down unless it is something that's harmful or, you know, sexual in nature, unless you're
That's
Ninja,
actively going on.
and then they're going to let it go for 24 hours for hardcore porn. But
On
you know,
Ninja's channel.
yeah, on Ninja's channel.
Like-
But in this case, like a lot of people are saying that the reason that he moved over to that was just to have content on the bat, whatever. But his demeanor did change in a way. At least I think that it changed in a way because he still, even though he goes from 0 to 100 and back and whatever else, like there was still a very much of like a solemn, like just change in his voice and his overall kind of holding himself in the way that he talked. Like there was a lot of messages he didn't necessarily finish whenever he was reading. He, you know, I don't know. It's just very weird, right?
Yeah, it was some of the stuff he said too. Like he was telling his chat, like, you know, we're gonna get through this
yeah.
and whatnot. Like it's okay, we'll get through this, whatnot. It's like he
but
knew
again-
the end was like near from that text, whatever it said.
But again, when he was talking about, you know, we're gonna get through this, to me it felt more like he was making fun of the fact that Roblox is so popular. Like to me, that's what I got from it personally.
Yeah, I didn't. I got completely different. Like he's not. If he's gonna slam Roblox, he'd slam it in a lot different way, in my opinion. And again, this is the whole mystery that's behind, you know, Doc right now. Is I'm not kidding you when I'm telling you, I literally had a dream about Doc and being like, "Yo, where did you go? Like, what's going on? Well, you know, blah blah blah." And he got pissed off and like got in a boat with a MP5 and a fucking AK-47
Good Lord.
and this little dingy boat, laid down and like paddled himself out into the middle of a like I'm not kidding you, man, like in the middle of this like fucking like squall of a storm, and then he disappeared in the waves as it crashed onto his fucking
When does your fanfic come out?
yeah,
This is
yeah,
what
right?
Sin dreams about.
Right. So you know, it's just, I don't know. It's just different, right? It's something where
The weird thing that he did that I noticed that just seemed out of the blue, and he's been known to go on random tangents, was the David Icke stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
But he was talking about that prior to.
Was he?
even his
Okay,
change.
I only
Yeah.
saw the like the
Like
clip that
prior
everybody's
prior to
watching.
him looking, according to Sin and some other people looking down at his phone, he was talking about that book prior to that.
Yeah.
Okay,
regardless.
I didn't know that.
I mean the thing about I think the thing that's weird, right? It's just weird is mainly not even just that, but like the radio silence that has happened. Like that is not
Yeah.
Doc. Like, you know,
Well, and again, that could be very highly, and I'm sure it is very highly
The
tied
NDA.
to the NDA and being caught in lawyers and everything like that and trying to fight this ban
right.
for whatever reason it is. I just wish that he would come out and be like, yeah, it's because of this, and just
Yeah.
let us know, because like
Right.
that's the worst part, is like the anticipation of trying and the people that are going out there and doing like these wide arcing conspiracy theories, like even me.
I love
Like
the
I
theories,
was
though.
I was
Oh, yeah,
talking
dude.
with Sid and these guys, you know, we were talking about the Brime, and I was like, man, I bet you what's happening is fucking Shroud and Ninja and now Doc, they're gonna go and make Brime and this, that, in between. We had some fucking weird ass.
Which
Yeah,
it's
with
still
Sodom
none
Lies,
none
yeah.
of that is to I don't think anything's off the table, right? I don't think, like, if I were to say one person to do it that would go and do it, or well, two people that would go and do it, I would say Ninja and Doc would be the two that would have like the fucking Werenthal cojones bravado to be like, we're gonna fucking take down Amazon. Like, okay, like, all right, you know, have at it. You
Well,
know,
that's the only reason why I even entertained it, was because I'm in the same boat. I'm like, if anybody's going to do it and anybody has the power to do it, it's two people that literally just got paid 40 million between the two of them,
right.
Yeah.
and
But
Doc,
the
right?
the thing to me though is like that's still not enough in my opinion
Yeah.
to start. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars to get something off of the ground. And again, maybe like we don't know. It may be something that is around the corner and that they are still doing. You know what I mean? And like it's not a like I said, nothing is out of the realm of possibility. I just wish somebody somewhere would come out and say something, because to add to the fuel of Brime, right? No one still knows what Brime is. We've not seen anything around Brime other
I
than
don't
the
even
fact
think
that
Brime
I
knows
think
what
it's
Brime
just
is.
a meme.
I think it's a meme too. I think it's a hoax.
yeah, you think? I don't know. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe, but again, maybe it's not. Like maybe this is the meme that again, this is where we're talking about all of these weird fucking things happen. Like maybe this is the
You think
meme
it's
that
gonna start as a meme and then like blow
Actually
up into
become a
something
thing.
actually?
I mean, it did
So
blow up
I've
as something
seen-
actually.
I've seen memes blow up. Yeah, that's the whole
Like-
thing. Is like it did. Like as soon as like even a mumbling of Brime started to happen,
Yeah.
their Twitter following went from like being a couple K to being like 30K. In, like,
They
a matter
timed
of,
it
like, 2
perfect
days.
though.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So their Twitter follower, I was number 72 on their Twitter follower list, and by the time that it was done over the weekend, they were over like close to 100K on their follow. So whether this is like real or fake, the marketing, whoever is their marketing agent, like brilliant. Like
Killed it,
whoever their
yeah.
marketing guy
Killed
is,
that shit, man.
fucking brilliant to be like, oh, let's
Probably
go.
just some
Like,
14-year-old kid in his basement.
maybe, I mean, maybe whatever. But I mean, again, this could be something that these guys all like coincidentally. It's just hard to look at and be like, hold on one second. Doc got banned. All of the stuff with Mixer happened. Shroud's gone. Ninja's now gone. And all of a sudden now Brime shows up and, is this these guys creating it? And now we have the video that came out that like, Ninja is like, oh, this is it's all a hoax. I'm going to Brime,
It's all a
Brime time,
marketing ploy,
this, whatever. Is this all part of this weird thing? And because of that, like you see like Brime literally made a post and was like, hey, thank you to all our community managers and members and blah, blah, Ninja, whatever about Brime, like coming up with a new term, Brime time. I don't know. It's just fucking weird, man. Like it's just so it's so odd because we've not gone this like when you had these things in these transitions, especially when you're talking about a multitude a multitude of names of this caliber, right? You're not talking like even as much as I don't care about Ninja and I could care less, like Shroud, whatever. Like I like Shroud, Doc, I enjoy his humor, and style. But those three names, man, they carry a huge amount of weight, and we've never had this long of a time of being like, where are they going?
I honestly, at this point, don't think there's any connection to it. I believe my money goes to something shady going down with Twitch, with Mixer liquidating and stuff. The whole point of them buying him out was so he wouldn't go over there. And now that Mixer's like not a competitive force anymore, they were trying to find some way of avoiding his contract, and so they didn't have to pay him out.
Yeah,
and he's got enough questionable things in his past history that they could technically do it and get away with it if they really wanted to.
And we know that he's had ish situations where like infidelity with his wife and everything like that, plus the ban at TwitchCon prior, like Sin was saying earlier, with him going to the bathroom and everything like that. So it's like it's not an unfeasible thing that they could have dug up dirt on him, right?
Oh yeah.
Like it's not an unfeasible thing that something could have happened. We had that whole the sexual assault allegations and the training or whatever you want to call it with the influential Twitch streamers last podcast and everything like that, and it happened right at the tail end of that, and they dollied out the ban just like they did with the sexual assault bans, right? It was everything. It was just a scorched earth. Everything was gone.
Yeah, but they didn't scorch earth like how they did with Doc. Like those other guys did not get their people did not refund their subs. They didn't get that kind of stuff. Like that was handled completely differently than this. I don't think it's related to
has anything to do with it.
I don't think that it's related to the whole like the sexual assault allegations or anything like that. One, because there wasn't an allegation that was made against Doc specifically
that we know of.
But also too, he has made it very public and has been very public about like infidelity and his relationship and marriage, and has come on stream and things of that. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think it has to do with that, because I also do think like if that was the case, this would be out now. You know what I mean? Like this would be 100% out, of out in the air, being like, my experience with Doc, right? Especially with how big this name is. So my thought is that I think what happened is that and why it leads me to believe more about like the saying of like, maybe they are doing something on their own. Maybe they are in talks with Brime. Maybe they are in talks with somebody else, because for Twitch to handle it this way, right? And for him to get that kind of like, oh shit, and Twitch to have banned him that quickly, to me, it means they found something out that they absolutely didn't like. Because they like the allegations about like the sexual assault allegations, like Twitch, I have a hard time believing that was not known to Twitch about some of this stuff. But they also handled those bans a lot differently. I mean, it took them weeks up to about a week to 2 weeks to ban some of these accounts. To me, it leans on a belief that they found out that they spent a bunch of money on this account, on this person, and that this dude was either shopping himself out or is starting his own shit, and they basically figured it out and said, fuck you, you're out. Like,
well, and we had that insider that was talking about it too, like right when it first happened, and she I don't know what the relation was to it. I can't remember exactly, but it was like the first kind of whistleblower. The person had come out and basically said that people had heard stuff, and then there was insiders that had gone to Twitch with information about something that was ban worthy, right? So that's what kind of spurred me on to be like, oh, maybe he is getting with maybe he is getting with Ninja and Shroud, and maybe they're trying something out, and somebody found out about it. They went to like Tim the Tap Man, or they went to some other influential streamers to try and pull them along with them. Right?
Oh yeah, I mean,
and somebody whistleblowed.
I mean, if you're Doc, if you think about it, I mean, if you want to pull talent, I think if you're Doc, Ninja, and Shroud, you're pulling Dr. Lupo, you're pulling Tim, you're pulling, well, maybe not 100%. Lupo. Lupo may stay because of his contract, but you're pulling, there's no contract with Tim. There's no contract with Nadeshot. There's no contract with a lot of these guys that they're playing with, right? So why would you not? Like that would be the person. If I'm gonna fucking go and start something, I'm gonna do that, and I'm taking these big names with me, right? Yeah. So and then again, like to get off of kind of Doc, it then goes into Ninja. So then Ninja comes out and he says, we're gonna do a stream on YouTube, right? And a lot of people took that.
Can I just really quickly preface this, because I have to, because if I don't, it's gonna be a pain in my thorn, or a thorn in my side, right? I told you so. I fucking told you so.
Okay, hold on one second. Let's pump the fucking brakes. They did not. Nobody came out and said, I am signing with YouTube. All he did was say, I am literally going to stream on YouTube today, and went and streamed on YouTube. Like that was great. Like congratulations. And he did like, he got 168,000 people, I think, watched him on YouTube. Like, so if anything, all that says, like, yeah, okay, cool, you can get big numbers on YouTube, but that doesn't mean that he has signed a contract with YouTube. If anything, I mean,
and I will preface this as well and say I never said that he was going to sign a contract with YouTube. I just said that he was going to go to YouTube at some point.
Well, no shit. I mean, I don't think that he wouldn't go to YouTube.
For YouTube, he definitely fits it, like we said.
Yeah,
it
made more sense.
If he's not planning on going with YouTube, any other company that he would potentially be going with, unless.
Did anybody else free?
Oh,
hey!
No.
Oh fuck! The Illuminati got him. It's the same people that got Doc.
They're getting him. We're going out. We're going out.
They got.
Yeah, no. My thing is my biggest thing is literally the fact that if he's going to YouTube and he's doing a stream on YouTube, right? They've been in talks for a little bit at least, right?
Yeah. I'm here. I'm here with you. These two aren't.
Yeah. No. What? Is he back?
Oh, is he back?
No. All right. So we're just gonna let it sit here, guys.
The show must go on.
We're gonna go on. Oh, he's back. Do you want to finish your statement that you were making?
I'll have to cut that out in post, boys.
Yeah. Oh God! Now we're all at different spots. Oh, God
Is it-
bless it. All right. Well, now I'm down where Billy's supposed to be. Now, oh,
There
no,
we go.
now we're moving back and forth. Okay.
Call teach everyone.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. What did I miss?
Well, whatever you were saying, I don't know. You stopped mid.
I'm not
mid,
back, am I?
mid.
No.
Yes, you are
Do you
back.
not hear us? We can hear you.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have a lot to cut out in post.
You are gonna have a lot to cut out in post.
Do we have to restart the call?
Oh
I-
god.
I don't know, Bill.
No, I think Bill's just having a
Yeah, his stream went down.
like his stream. Yeah, his internet's chunking.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna continue to keep going because the show must
Yeah.
go on. If Bill comes
Can you
back,
guys hear me?
yes. Oh my God, yes. Can you hear us?
Am I actually clear? Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
God, here
Okay,
we
we're
go. All right. Cool. Real quick, just so you have a place this 33 minutes 40 seconds Enigma.
Yeah.
So you have it for the post. Okay. All right. So Bill, you were in the middle of saying something like, and then you cut out. So
Where did I cut out?
at this point, I have no
Uh,
fucking clue.
Yeah, you cut out. We were talking about him going to YouTube, and you were saying.
Oh,
something about-
if I
thought
was
you
a
cut out
company
again.
that was signing Ninja, and I'm still good.
You're good.
You're here.
Okay. If I was a company that was signing Ninja and I saw him do a stream, unless it's the magical unicorn that is Brime, I wouldn't be okay with him using a competitor site just willy nilly, unless he's legit not worked on any type of agreement, which I don't believe he hasn't. He's
yeah,
too
I-
hot
I-
of a commodity, and it's every day that he's not connected to something actively streaming, he's
Yeah.
losing money.
It's
I
like, what
fi-
are
I
his
find
options
it-
even though?
I
Because he
find
can't go
it-
back to Twitch.
I find it very hard that
He can
he
if you
went,
wanted to.
I find it very hard that he went
don't know.
and did one single stream on YouTube, and they didn't pay him for it. And there's
No,
not.
of course they
There's
didn't.
not something going.
Absolutely.
There's not something going on in the background. right?
Absolutely not.
'Cause-
Oh, no, yeah, dude. Come on, man.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No.
I'm done.
There's absolutely they would have not paid him. They 100%. If anything, this is unless he is just a brain dead fucking moron, which he could be, right? Unless he's an idiot, he went on there and purposely said, "I'm gonna go stream on YouTube. I'm gonna see what I can get. So then I can go and I can shop that and go, here you go, YouTube. This is what I can produce for you. And this is just a pop-up stream. Think if I was doing this every single day. Oh, hey, by the way, Facebook, you want me? This is what I can produce over YouTube. This is what they're gonna pay me for it.
Well, he's already
what are you
turned
gonna
down
do that?
Facebook. He's already turned down Facebook.
I don't think he's turned down Facebook.
Yeah, he
Where
did.
did he
When
say
he
that?
left, he told them no, I'm not going back. I'm not.
That
going back to Facebook."
no. He did not. He said they said that they would give him, they would honor the contract, right? That they gave or that Mixer gave or whatever else. But at that point, why would he? He was already paid out. Like there's no why would he go there? Like they're not offering him money like to go there. He's saying
Yeah.
basically, okay, so what you're telling me is I can have a contract with you guys, have to stick with you for an X amount of years and get paid nothing when I already got paid 40 million, or I could just peace. No, I'm gonna peace. Like I guarantee that he is fucking shopping himself and using this as a mechanism to do it because his numbers right now on Mixer were shit. Like his numbers were shit.
Dog
They,
shit.
Oh, yeah.
they were
They
not
like below 10,000
right.
most times.
They were not strong enough for him to go out there and shop himself in this way. Like they just weren't. So it 100% is more about him going out and saying that they are going to,
Yeah.
what can I get? What can I get for this kind of, for viewership, right? And now he can go to YouTube and say, I can pull 170K. Like even if the contract was a double the contract, like we have people in chat saying that they were turned down double the Mixer contracts, even at $80 million or $60 million. Like it isn't still in fact a rumor, but also two, those are numbers based off of what he was still able to produce at Twitch a year and a half ago, and then also able to do or a year ago and on Mixer, which was complete dog shit. So if I'm Ninja, I'm gonna go and do what Ninja did and say, look, boom, I can pull instantly 168,000 people. And so if you want to offer me, triple, then I'll come and talk to you. Otherwise, I'm not gonna do that because yeah.
I'm just gonna throw it out there and say and leave it at this, right? I don't think he's going back to Twitch. I don't
No.
think that he will ever go back to Twitch. He's the kind of person that will hold a grudge. right? We you can agree with me on that, yes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a
Okay, so
Do you think?
I-
Wait, do you
I
think Twitch
don't-
would even let him back in?
I
No.
didn't, and that's what I was about to say is I don't feel that Twitch would even let him back
think
regardless because of how he left. They didn't leave on good terms.
Hmm.
So I don't think that Twitch would entertain the idea of actually even accepting him back, right? He's
Right.
already been offered an offer at Facebook of double the money that he was getting from Mixer, correct?
rumor.
Yes.
And now he's streaming on YouTube. YouTube is Google, right? Google is the money right now. Google has all the money in the world. That like 100%. If he went over to them and gave them the highest number, they would probably accept it.
Yeah, but Google doesn't
Just
care about
because of how
YouTube.
bad of a state that Google is in.
Google doesn't care about YouTube. They care less about YouTube.
But that's what I'm saying is again, if they want to bring more people into YouTube streaming, which they do, they've been trying to get more people into YouTube gaming for years.
Yeah.
The way that they would do it would be Ninja as their poster boy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, maybe it's because I work in this, but like I don't see them putting more into YouTube gaming or streaming. And in fact, I see them going the opposite way. I see them.
They're already doing it though. They're basically they're trying to fund forward for content for YouTube for like TV and stuff. That's what he's trying to go down. That's what Tyler Ninja Blevin or whatever the fuck his name is trying to go for, right? Is the family friendly content. That's what he's trying to push for, correct?
Okay.
And that's what YouTube wants from their creators is family friendly, ad friendly revenue makers.
Wait, is this the same person that said, "What'd you say to me, you toxic little shit"?
I know that,
And you could literally
know
go on
that.
YouTube and search that up.
We argued about this the other week. Like I'm fully aware he's a toxic little shit, right?
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that currently his persona that he's trying to push forward to content creators and to influential business owners and to AdSense and everything like that, ad revenue and everything like that, he's a family friendly content creator. And that's what YouTube wants, and that's what YouTube needs right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think that I don't know. We could go back and forth on all this, right? Like the point the kind of we're all trying to make here is that one, stop paying these fucking creators multi-millions of dollars for multi-year fucking contracts when you're talking about something that could be gone in an instant. If anything, they should have taught every company. If I'm fucking YouTube, guess what I'm gonna go do? Fuck you. I'm literally gonna look you in the face and go, fuck you. I'm not paying you a goddamn dime.
That would be a terrible idea. on YouTube's
Why would it
part,
be a
'cause
terrible idea? He ain't going
they
back to Twitch. He's not going back to Twitch.
They invest $100 million into Ninja. They get $300 million back.
We're okay. Look at it from a business standpoint. Is he gonna? We all agree he's not going back to Twitch, right? Like
Right.
across the board,
Yeah.
he's not going to go
Yeah,
back to Twitch. We already got that, right? He just said he's not going to Facebook. Where the fuck else is he going to go? Like so-
YouTube. Exactly.
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
So if I'm
they're still
YouTube,
wanting
I'm going
pay
to tell
him.
you to fuck
I
off.
guarantee you they will still pay him whatever he fucking
Which is why I
asks for.
still think Doc got banned to void his contract, so they
Yeah.
didn't have to pay him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just
That's what
saying.
makes sense.
I'm just saying he can only go to YouTube at this point, unless he's going to start his own fucking thing. And then at the same time, I'd be go, bye. Like, and yeah, and people like in chat are saying he's going to do Instagram streams. I think
Nah.
Tyler Ninja Blevins is trying anything and everything. To be 100% honest, I think that he saw very quickly when he left fucking Twitch that he fucked up. He made a big mistake, right? That his whole idea of family friendly, right? Twitch was that poster child or the company that pushed him into the fucking spotlight and made him what he is because they pushed this idea of family friendly. They pushed him into the show with Ellen and all this other kind of stuff. Yes, he created that content. Yes, it's completely opposite of who the fuck he is, but they created Ninja. Ninja then left and became what Ninja is, which is a toxic shit. And then
And it didn't sell.
and it didn't sell. And now guess what? Now Ninja is in a fucking rough spot. So he is clamoring for anything and everything he possibly can to get it back. So I don't know. Whatever. Honest to God, I could care less where he goes. It does not give a rat's ass to me. Like, so bye, good riddance, have at it. Like, whatever. And
I just want some Twitch competition. That's honestly
right,
what
that's
I
all. Yeah,
want
that's
out
all
of
I
this.
care about.
100%.
Like
yeah.
I want Twitch competition, and that's not YouTube, because I work in the space with YouTube a lot. And YouTube streaming, YouTube gaming, Google doesn't give a shit about YouTube, not at all. And like I said this 2 weeks ago when we did our last show, the reason I'm upset about Mixer dying is because it was competition still, and as small as it may be, it was still a feature competition that Twitch had to look to, right? And so now we have nothing. We have fucking Trovo. Like, what the fuck is Trovo?
DLive.
Like, we have D
DLive,
Live.
yeah.
Like, we have nothing, you know, that's really out there. And so I want some kind of competition. Maybe it is Brime. Maybe Brime is a real fucking thing, and it really
I think
can.
it's a fucking unicorn, man. It's a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
It's Nessie
Maybe,
creeping up out
yeah.
of the water just enough so you get a picture and then going back down.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe, sure, maybe, whatever. But I just want something. You know what I mean? Like I need something to be real. So, and I want it to be more than what Twitch is. I want competition for Twitch. You know.
Same.
So
Yeah, I mean, you can
That
keep
would be
dreaming.
the best for the
dreaming about Doc.
entire streaming universe is if Twitch had like an actual heavy hitter to keep it in check. Be like, yo, if you fuck up, we're yoinking everybody you know and love.
yeah, yeah. I mean, again, maybe. I mean, and honestly, like, it needs to be the bravado of someone like Shroud and Doc. I don't know if I'd say Ninja, because I really don't want Ninja, but
I don't think Doc's a good poster child either. in all
I'm just
honesty.
saying, like, honestly, between those three people, they would have, like we said earlier, they would have the best shot at it. Like, right, 40
Yeah.
million between Shroud and Ninja. That's a good start at making something new, right? And then whatever millions that fucking Doc wants to throw into it, you know.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe, again, who knows? You know, it's
Get Dr. Lupo to start a streaming program.
Yeah.
yeah. I'd love for Lupo to start a streaming program. So
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. In any case, kind of moving on.
I think we lost. I think we lost Billy again.
Or is he just doing his best impersonation
No,
of a
I'm
bot?
pretty sure. we lost
I'd say
Billy
that's a pretty good.
that's good. He should be professional.
He's a mime, man.
So what I think we move on to the next topic, right? I think we've exhausted this topic pretty
Yeah,
much.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and follow it, you know, as closely as what you want. And, you know, let's see. I still think, the last point I would put on it, if they're going to be relevant, at least Doc is going to be relevant. He needs to come out and say something within this month. If he doesn't come out and say something within this month, like, I just don't think it's going to be relevant anymore. Personally.
Yeah, I just don't know if he can. Again, like if he's tied up in legal arguments and he's tied up in NDAs and they've been, and if it is something that's to the point where it's like it's detrimental to his actual like image, that's possibly something with it too. Is he doesn't want to say anything, because like I know
Right.
that a lot of people that happened, you know, it happened with the Me Too 2.0 bullshit that went on with Twitch recently. People just deleted their accounts. Like they said nothing and just they were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't see Doc.
Twitter,
I don't see Doc being
Instagram,
that.
everything.
Yeah. I don't see Doc being that. Like, that's not.
Well, and if he hasn't done it yet, then he's not going to personally. That's
Right.
my only point of view. Is
Yeah.
like if he hasn't deleted that stuff yet, it's probably nothing to do with like a sexual harassment cause or anything like that.
Like, yeah.
Right.
So cool. So moving on, right? Like I said, this is all interesting stuff. We're going to keep track of it. We're going to, you know, keep you guys updated, you know, and let you guys know kind of what's happening, with that as it does happen. And I'm sure something will come out here soon, for where these people are going, you know, but, moving on, to more, I think fun and more like, you know, at least gaming related stuff is Mortal Shell. So I watched a lot of Mortal Shell. Bill actually played Mortal Shell. I refuse to play Mortal Shell unless because it's on the fucking Epic Game Store. And me and Enigma will have a field day with that. But Bill, Mortal Shell.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
I'm glad I came back right on time.
Yeah. Simon.
So it's good. It's really good. It is a Souls-like game if you're not familiar with what that is, which it's its own genre in itself. It's Dark Souls inspired, basically. The hyper difficulty, all of that fun stuff that would go into it. If you die, you have to go back to your point of your death to retrieve whatever XP you got. If you die again, you lose it all. That stuff. But this one does it a little bit different. This one goes and it kind of it brings the camera in first and foremost. It makes it a lot closer of a view.
'Cause it's like right, it's like right over the shoulder, right? It's like
right. It's almost like Resident Evil
Like third
4, like
Yeah.
close. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also the feel to the combat, it's got a lot more weightiness to it than a Dark Souls. The Dark Souls combat style, it's very it's predictable, I guess I should say. And I think this game will be as well, but all the weapons, their movesets felt like they're really free flowing, but there's a lot of weight to each of those moves. And
how many
it's not as easy to control, basically.
how many, because the idea behind it is that you are a being that basically encompasses these shells that have the different powers and abilities. So you can become one that will have that's more of like a assassin style, quicker build. Then you have another one that is one of the ones I watched, which I forgot his name, but he was like carrying around like a two-handed sword.
Right. So the two shells we got to play in the demo, the first one was Haros. He is basically your like main, like your well-rounded build. He's so each stat goes up to 10. He's got 5s down the board. Okay.
Gotcha.
And he starts off with the two-handed sword. The two-handed sword you actually get in the tutorial before you even pick up that character.
Now before we get too far into it, are weapons like shell related? Like you can only use the two-handed sword with Harrow?
Oh no.
No,
tonight is just not the night for Bill. Man.
I did watch that enough to see that the sword, you can still use those different weapons with different shells. So like
that's what I thought, because like I was watching Plagued, and I'm pretty sure that he was using the two-handed sword even with the
right
the stealthy kind of assassin type character, and I was like, okay, that's cool.
Right.
Like so it gives you a decent amount of customization. Like you can have, you can kind of build more if you're more of a heavy weapon user, but you still like to have a little bit of movement speed. You don't have to go down the route of like a gigantic heavy armored guy.
And even seeing it too, like here's my fear of the game, right? Because again, just to give everybody clarification, this is a Souls-like game, so it is supposed to be just brutally hard. The other side of it is that the combat is still slow. It is or slower than something a la like Bloodborne, a la some of the later Dark Souls. It to me reminds me of Demon Souls. Like I think Demon Souls was a little bit on the slower side of things, and and kind of felt a little bit more, not clunkier, but slower. The thing about this that I am concerned about is I'm starting to fear that it is becoming No Man's Sky-ish, right? Like where, this was a game that, Bill and I were kind of following, and there was not a lot of rumblings behind it, and it was very small, and not a lot of people knew what it was. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, Sony picks it up, and now it's just like, and Epic picks it up, and now it's just like, and now it's blowing up, and everybody is singing, everybody's doing all this stuff with it, and it's like, fuck, man, is this gonna be that game? Like, is this gonna be one of those that's just blown out of proportion and doesn't do what it was supposed to do well because now it's got all this hype behind it? I don't.
We got your back, Bill.
Yeah. I'm back for now.
So yeah, I think where we left off was just kind of you were explaining kind of. I had asked if you could use different weapons with the different versions, like with the different the different shells.
You can. The weapons aren't shell specific. The only thing that the shells do is your stats. And there are certain upgrades, like each shell you upgrade individually, and each
they have
shell
skills,
specializes in different things.
Yeah.
The first shell is all about the new like the key system to this game, which is the hardening system. Which
I
is
saw that.
funny.
I saw that it's got like a weird like icon or like a ruin on its back, and that like lights up when you're able to like harden or dodge or something.
That's actually your parry.
Is that the parry? Okay,
Yeah,
I have no fucking clue. I don't know what is going on there.
That's something completely different. The hardening, there's a little icon in the bottom left corner, and it's a circle. And
I
whenever
hard
you
all the
use
time,
the
boys.
Oh, jeez.
the memes.
I'm
But no, whenever you hold the button and it puts you into this hardened state where you're immune to damage. You can't move yourself, but you're completely immune to damage. If anything comes out and attacks you, their attack glances off. But as soon as your shell, like the hardened form, takes so much damage, you snap out of it.
So it's like Metapod. You started.
Exactly like
Cool.
Metapod. The cool thing about this is you can do this move in the middle of any action that you're doing. So if you're in the middle of an attack combo and you see an enemy's attack coming, like say you're not staggering them and they're like tanking through your blows, you can harden, wait for their attack to hit you, and then continue through with your combo. Like
What does it cost to harden though? Anything?
It's on a cooldown. So
Okay, gotcha.
you harden, and I think starting off it's a 5 or 7 second cooldown. The first guy that you have, actually, one of his abilities is it reduces that cooldown by 25%.
So question on that. To me, that screams challenge run out off the gate of being like playing the game without hardening, like doing a no hard run.
And it would be
no
very
hard
hard.
run.
No hard on run.
So you remember when
The
everybody
erectile
started?
dysfunction run.
Yeah,
You remember when everybody started playing Sekiro, right?
Yeah.
And everybody was getting their ass kicked because nobody wanted to learn how to block and deflect and all that stuff because dodging in that game's ass, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be the exact same thing with this game because dodging in
And he's gone.
And dodging
Alright.
in this game
Dodging
sucks
in this
ass.
game.
So assuming what I'm
It's
assuming
terrible. It's bad.
Yeah,
man. They-
So to me again, it's a cool mechanic. I just don't know, like what I worry about is that is something that they're gonna rely heavily on. You know what I mean? Of like having that hardened mode, having it where you've got to do it, to even get through a fight or to get through certain stuff.
Well, is it only on that one shell or is it
No,
across
no,
both
all the
shells?
shells
It's
can
just it
all
has
the
different-
shells can
All
harden.
shells can get hard
Okay.
or
Yeah.
hardened.
Yes, all
Okay.
shells.
Every
can
shell's got Viagra.
Okay.
We got
Jesus
the
got it on
hard-
hand.
Christ. You guys got that out of your system? You done?
No, we don't. It's gonna be a thing. It's just
Yeah.
gonna continue on throughout the entire show.
Okay. Well, if it goes on for too long, then you need to go to the hospital because you need to make
Oh,
sure that
shit.
yeah. So anyway,
1 out of 10 men, boys.
Jesus Christ.
Well, the dodging and everything in the game seems pretty unforgiving.
And now he's
Situation.
just gone. Now just
He's
Bill
just-
just
he's out.
Bill just is like, fuck this, I'm out. So apparently he forgot to harden. So in any case, what I like I said, I do want to talk about the one thing about them going to the Epic Store. This is something that did piss me off.
Yeah.
This is something that actually, I was excited about playing this because I am a Souls fan and it's something that I love, dearly. And it was, 2020 was when it showed its launch on, Steam. And then now it's 2021, right? So, and because Epic bought it up, and now I can't even play the fucking demo because it's on the Epic Store. Like, okay, I can play the demo. I just refuse to play the demo. I refuse to play with on the
You're
Epic Store.
Billy the Squid now.
Yeah, I know. But like this is to me taking it a step further. Like this is taking being a dick to like being a hardened dick. To say like I am going to now stop you from playing even the demo of a game if you're not using the Epic launcher. Like, am I wrong here? I mean, am I out of place?
I mean, I'm biased because I fucking can't stand the Epic Game Store. So
Agreed.
don't ask me if you're wrong because I completely fucking agree with you. Like I've agreed with you 100%. I think as soon as I saw it was an Epic Game Store exclusive, like I don't even want to play the game. Like I'm done. Like
Mhm.
I don't even want to touch it. I was
And
telling
even after a year, I mean,
yeah,
like you're
it's,
you're
we
the
were
hype's gone,
talking
you
about
know?
this. We
Yeah.
were talking about this the other night with me and Scruffy, and it was like any game that's gone and done that,
Mhm.
I've not touched. Like I bought Borderlands 3 because it was on sale when it released. It was on sale for $30 for the big boy package, right, with all the DLC and everything like that.
Yeah.
But it's like if it hadn't been on sale, fuck them. I'm not gonna pick it up. Like a year of waiting, and I don't personally feel like any games currently that are out that have been a Epic exclusive have been good enough for me to pick up when they go off of Epic exclusive. You know,
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind. I'm not going to go as far as saying I'm not going to play the game because it's not on, Epic. My fear is that they're going to do what these other companies do. For instance, like I fucking bought Battlefront and I have to load fucking Origin to
Oh,
play
yeah.
it. Like I hate that shit. Like I don't want to have those other things. Like I don't I just don't. Like I don't. So my fear is like, does this mean that when I get, which I don't think they will, I don't think that Epic will do that. I think that they will you know,
every other game so far that's been an Epic exclusive, when they release on Steam, it's been a Steam
Been a
launcher.
Steam port, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a Steam. It's an actual Steam game, and it's launched through Steam. So
Yep.
I highly doubt that it's going to be the case. I don't think that that's anything to do with Epic. If I'm sure if Epic had their way, they would do it that way. I think it's
Probably.
more Steam when they come over to the Steam. Steam's like, no, you will be launching through our fucking launcher, or
Right.
you will not be on Steam.
yeah, it's the, I just like I'll play the game afterward. I think the hype will be gone. It'll be done and over with. And again, if I'm a game developer, Epic better, like any of these companies better be paying me a shit ton of fucking money
Mhm.
to make my game exclusive, because it's not saying that, oh, we believe in your game so much, blah blah blah. Like you're literally cutting your market in share
In half.
in not even half,
Yeah.
fucking low below that, man. Like Epic's game store is got nowhere close to the numbers that Steam has. Like nowhere close. You know what I mean? Like I don't get and understand why that went
back.
there. Like, and what I don't understand either is just, honestly, just release the game with, if you don't know where you want to release and digitally, just release a digital copies of codes. You know what I mean? Like, let
Yeah.
me go put it wherever the fuck I want to go put it. Like, I don't want to.
We were again, we were talking about this earlier, and it's like it doesn't make feasible sense when it comes to money, right?
Yeah.
To have an exclusive store, you can make more money by releasing it on all stores than by going Epic Games exclusive.
Right. And there's no multiplayer in this that I know of, or that we know of yet. Like, so why? You know what I mean? Like, why do this? Why go down this path?
Multiplayer would be really cool in this
'Cause-
game, actually.
Because
Oh, like a co-op?
Daddy EGS gave him a payout and guaranteed a certain amount of copies. That's why.
Yeah. No, I just it does it saddens me.
I want to play devil's advocate on this one now that I'm hopefully back.
You lost your right 4 fucking stalls ago.
Yeah, no shit. Yes, you will make more money in the long run with multi-platform. And it's only a 1-year exclusivity, which still sucks, but it is only 1 year, and people that are going to wait it out on Steam are going to buy it on Steam regardless. And it's not an upfront lump sum like what Epic Games is going to offer. And with some devs, that's what you need to get that game, as like the production on that game that you need to get it shipped in a proper state. You need that lump sum up front. You can't wait for income to come in from buys and then try to fix the game later. I would rather them do a buyout like this and release a solid finished product than a half finished one and then patching it together later.
Yeah. So my biggest thing with that way of thinking is, yes, I understand that for indie devs. I do. And for this game, considering it's an indie dev, it's not a mainstream, developer, I kind of give it a pass, right? But
and I do too. I know exactly where you're going with this.
Yeah, but my biggest thing is when big companies like 2K, like some of the bigger companies, the AAA companies, go out and do this shit. I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, it makes no fucking sense. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
But I also I can't get past my bias on AGS. They fucked me multiple times. It's just something that will never be a thing. You know?
I'm sorry, guys. I don't give a pass on this kind on a
No.
on. First, let's just say I don't give a pass on Mortal Shell. Who's the developer for this, by the way? Do we know?
I'm not sure. Let me take a look real quick.
I don't think it's a AAA.
Can somebody
I'm
else take a look
fairly
and
sure.
take, just in case Bill dies again?
Yeah.
So we will make sure to have it. But here's my thing,
Mortal
right?
Shell is developed by Cold Symmetry.
Okay, Cold Symmetry. Have they made anything else? Have they developed anything else?
Cold Symmetry developers.
I mean, I know it's not AAA. Like, I know that.
No, this is their first game.
Okay, so here's my thing, right? Why I don't give it a pass, or why I'm not saying, look, you took the lump sum money because you needed to finish the game. This game, like I said, Bill turned me onto it. I have been following it for a while. This game has been out in production and has been moving in this
Since
direction
2017.
for a while, right? This is not like this is some, oh, fuck, you know, we're in the shit. Like, this is, we were seeing this stuff done. All of this stuff was set to come out 2020, right? And then now the buyout or the whatever happened, and exclusivity happened, deal happened, and now 2021 for Steam, whatever that means. I don't know if we're still going to see it 2020 for Epic or what, but it's, to me, this is, they wanted to market. They wanted marketing. They wanted to market this way. They wanted to get the names out there. They wanted all of this recognition. So to me, it's a cop out. It's a bullshit way of doing things. And to me personally, find it as a greedy way of saying, we're going to go out there and take a lump sum of money. We're going to go ahead and know that we're going to get paid. We don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, now we can kick back and relax or whatever else. But we're going to fuck our audience, 3 times over by saying we're only going to go to the Epic Game Store. And if they really want to go to that. Now, maybe most people aren't like us. Maybe most people are not like me and Enigma and say that we're not going to install the Epic Game Store and don't want it. But there is a large enough crowd that will say that. Like, and
There's a very large crowd actually.
refuses to
Very,
say
very
that.
large.
So my issue is that I don't see this as saying like, oh, they needed the money to finish the game or to continue doing with it, to going down that route. If you wanted that, early access the shit out of it. There was enough hype to early access that game would have done well. I would have paid $30 to buy into it, and I guarantee that they would have made good enough money to get to launch and then go from there.
Some people have bad blood with the early access stuff. Some people don't want to go that route.
I mean, it's
especially
probably
with
the same amount of
especially
people
with
that
a
have
lot
bad blood
of,
with EGS exclusive though.
Yeah, it's true, but with like a single player game like this, if you early access it, like, what's the point of having people come back if the content's going to be the same?
You did early access of Hellpoint?
No, it's a demo.
Okay,
It's not
so
early
early
access.
access demo, whatever you want to call it. Like,
There was no cost to it. It was free.
oh, okay, so why not do the same thing?
That's
If you have a
not-
problem, if you have a problem with early access and you want to do a demo and get people hyped about it or whatever else, then do the same thing. Open pre-orders.
But are you saying for them to make money from the early access?
Oh, go.
That's what I thought you were meant.
That's what I'm saying. Either way, if you want, you can go either route. I can go early access route, get money now. I can go demo route, open pre-orders, get money now. I mean, so I can go either route and get money now. I'm just saying there are other ways of getting out of this situation if it is in fact money. I don't think it is in fact money. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact they needed money. I think that they
You think it's just
wanted money.
Greed on Epic.
Yeah, I just think they wanted money. I think they wanted money. They wanted to be like, we're going to go out here and do
I
this.
disagree with you on this one.
Obviously,
really,
I mean,
really do.
that's our point. That's what we're here for, is to disagree.
These, I feel for the indie devs because it is a tempting offer to. I go in with the mindset that I would take into it if I was in game development, and I know that's a very optimistic and happy Daisy Fields and fucking music playing in the back, but I would go into it, and if I were to make a game and Epic came up to me and like, yeah, we're gonna offer you this much for an exclusivity deal, and this is my first game, and if there were issues, yes, I would take the money. 100%, I would take the money. If the game was finished before this offer was made, then probably not, because I would want to get it out to as many people as possible. But I would also want the product that I want released in the best condition it could possibly be. And if that payout would get it there, and I could guarantee that all the other consoles, there's no console exclusivity, and it would eventually come out on all like on Steam as well, I would be okay with that.
I don't know.
What is the price point for this game when it like
It's
it's supposed to be a
$30.
60? Oh, it's supposed to be 30.
Pretty sure that's what they said. It was $30.
Okay.
I can.
Yeah, I thought it was higher. I thought it was higher than that. I don't think it was 30. I thought it was.
Because I know
like,
Hellpoint's a 35.
it's 27 right now if you pre-order, right?
Yeah, it's 27 if you pre-order. It is.
Speaking of which, I gotta go pre-order that.
I thought you didn't like that game.
I'm still gonna give it a
Like you
shot.
weren't a fan.
I'm gonna give it a
Yeah,
shot.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat as Sin. Like,
Okay,
I
Mortal
think,
Shell's $30.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm kind of in the same boat as Sin, where it's like I get where you're coming from with it. You know, yeah, you're an indie developer. If the injection of money is going to help you pay the bills, get the development down. But the problem that I have with it is that EGS exclusivity has become such a bad reputation maker in the gaming community these days.
It hasn't killed
I
any
don't-
games that have went exclusive with it though.
That we know of. They don't release actual game. They don't release actual information as to their numbers.
Here's what I'll tell
on
you.
the
I
EGS
it
store.
it absolutely did hurt Borderlands.
It hurt.
It hurt
It hurt
Borderlands 3.
Borderlands. It hurts. What's it called? Metro. Metro. It hurt a lot because of the bullshit that they pulled with Metro, where they pulled.
Oh,
it
Well,
off
yeah.
of
Metro did
UEG.
some shady shit.
Yeah.
And
Well-
again, with what you guys say, with AAA devs, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
The reason Borderlands went with it was a shady
Okay.
fucking
Well,
shit.
we'll go with a what's it called an indie dev then Ooblets. You know, we talked about Ooblets. I think a long time ago, a couple like the first couple episodes, right? They went down the EGS exclusivity and then took it a step further and basically called anybody that was going against them being an EGS exclusive toxic gamers, right?
But
That's
this
the
all
kind of
goes
shit,
deeper
right?
than just. This all just goes deeper than the exclusivity deal itself. This is the
We'll also-
companies or the marketing themselves shooting
also go with
themselves in the
Dauntless.
foot.
Dauntless was a what's it called too?
Yeah, but it
Completely
was,
fucked over their player base.
again, these are all games that, for one reason or another, have fucked it up in other ways other than the exclusivity deal. With Dauntless, it was on Steam and they ripped it off of there. Same
No, it was
thing.
never on Steam.
Where was it originally? Then?
It was
It was
just
its
on their
own, it was its own launcher.
Yeah.
Regardless, they should have left it on their own launcher. There's no
agree.
reason they should have pulled platform on
The
that
the
one.
the point that I'm trying to make though is the amount of animosity that you get from coming out as an Epic Games Store exclusive game. I think it hurts your brand more than if you just released it on all platforms.
Yeah, I mean, well, so here there is a good for instance that I was waiting for everybody to get done. Hades is a great is a great example
Yeah.
of this happening. Hades did nothing wrong when it comes to their platform. Hades did nothing wrong when it came to their player base. They didn't do anything as far as being negative, right, and hurting anything. They just went exclusive on EGS, and they had a contract with EGS. The reason that game came to Steam quicker than it was supposed to was because of the things that EGS was doing. It came out that EGS was hiding sales numbers from it, that they were putting it into sales that they didn't want to be put into, that they were putting it onto like a free game and that they were not being paid the proper amount. So they were hiding the amount of sales numbers that were happening during that free game side. And then when it came to Steam, it did not have the sell points. And like, it didn't have like as much push as what it could have. Like the sales numbers on Steam were lower than what they were expecting. And Hades flat out came out and said, this was because of Epic Game Store. Like if we would have launched the way that we should have launched, which is across all platforms, we feel that we would have done better than going in and signing a contract with Epic Game Store. So,
and I'm not trying to defend Epic Game Store. I think that whole system is crooked to begin with. I'm just saying, as a small dev, it's tempting, especially if you need that
Oh,
extra
yeah,
revenue to pay
100%.
your people.
Yeah, but
That's the only point I'm trying to make is I can
It-
understand why people would go that route. And while yes, you're mostly correct on the community backlashing anything that comes off as an Epic Games Store exclusive, I don't think that's entirely fair. I always feel bad for like the publishing company doing the fucking shady shit and then the dev taking all of the heat from it. It tends to be the way it goes, and that just makes Bill real sad.
I mean, to me, I would much rather have a company like whatever this company, I forgot what it's called, Cooler Synapse or whatever Syndrome or whatever the fuck it's called, Mortal
Cold
Shell,
Symmetry.
Cold Symmetry, yeah, sure. I would much rather have them come out and publicly say, "Hey, this is why we did it." We're like any company that wants to sign an exclusivity deal, come out and tell me why the fuck you signed an exclusivity deal. Tell me why you're telling me that it's more important for you to be on there than it is to be on. And again, maybe that's probably never going to happen, right? People are gonna be like, "Oh my god, that would," no one is ever going to tell you those kind of reasons. But let me know. I would much rather you come out and be like, "We couldn't finish the fucking game. Like the game was dead.
Yeah.
It was done in the water. If I did not do this deal." Okay, then I am more inclined to go, all right, cool. I'll go and
We also
I may
don't know
budge on
how
it.
long this deal has actually been in effect.
Right, but that's my whole point.
Either.
No, we don't know
The game's
anything.
been in development since 2017. That's
It had to have not been, this conversation could not have happened too much earlier because that game was showing as available in my wish
2020 on
list
Steam.
by 2020. And that was less than 3 months ago. Less than, I'll say 4 months ago was when it was showing 2020 on Steam.
okay.
Does
I
it,
didn't
does
know
it
that
show
one.
2021 or is it not up on
Yeah,
Steam
it
anymore?
shows 2021.
Okay.
Like, so those are my, like, that's my thing. It's like, if you're gonna go exclusive with anybody, tell me why you're going exclusive. Tell me that you can't afford to fucking pay the bills. Tell me that your debt, like it's taking too long or whatever else, or we need this surge of income to make a better game. I don't care. Church it up. I don't give a shit. But tell me something other than just being like, oh, we're out of the blue, we're now an Epic Game Store exclusive. Like, out of all of it, now we're only going to be on Epic, like, for at least a year. Like, fuck you guys. I'm sorry, but seriously, like, yeah, maybe it doesn't mean anything to you, but it means a lot to me to be like, especially this close to where, we're coming into Q4, Q3, Q4 launch, which was what it said, Q3 2020. We're right around we're in Q3 and now it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like so I don't know. Yes, maybe they needed the income. I think it's fucking bullshit. I don't think they needed the income. I saw this game. I've watched this game, since you showed it to me, Bill. And to me, it looked like they had their product finished. I have not seen anything new, any new screenshots, anything coming out of this that showed me that they needed this money. To me, I think that they were just like, fuck it. It's an easy way for us to get money. Like, I think it's an easy way for us to get this cash up front right now or whatever else. And that's more important to us. And if that's the case, then I don't know. Like, it is harder for me to swallow it.
That could be very true. I tend to go the innocent until proven guilty route with these kinds of things. Maybe I trust corporations like this a little bit too much.
I just don't trust,
especially with products that I'm passionate about, especially with products that like have actively engaged me.
I guess to me it seems like a sellout move. I mean, like, let me kind of wrap all this up and put a bow on it for my thing. Is this comes to me as a sellout. Like, if you indie dev to me means I am passionate, I am here, I am grinding it out to make something that I am passionate and I love, right? If you got too big for your fucking britches and you can't fucking do it, right? And you need some kind of cash splash income, like, okay, I still don't think the Epic going exclusive route is the way to go. Like, ask your fans, do Kickstarters, do early access. Like, if your game, like, yeah, everyone's like, oh, early access has a fucking lot of bloodstains behind it. Yeah, well, so does EGS. Like, they both have like a route of fucking bodies left behind them that is massive. Like, but this hangs on my wall. And Dead Cells came out early access or whatever else, was two guys developing their game, and it's one of the most successful games out there. It's on every fucking platform that could possibly be done. It's an amazing game. It sells phenomenally. like, I don't know. I'm just saying, if you're an indie dev, fucking stand true to indie dev. If you're gonna sell out, then put that extra A behind your name, become a AAA developer, and let's kick the bricks. Like, I don't know. It just to me seems like a very fucking sellout move.
I agree with both, honestly, but like the only way I can kind of see them selling out to Epic is it it had to be a big payout for them. Like if they needed it, it had to be something big. If not, I definitely think it hinders them in the long run
Well,
of not going to all
what
platforms.
what we know about from what we know about EGS exclusives, there's two options. They either give you a direct payout of however much money basically you've told them you need to complete the game, right?
Yeah.
Or they go down the route of they guarantee you X amount of copies paid.
Right.
So they give you the amount of money that X amount of copies would be made. Now that's again hasn't been confirmed because EGS doesn't talk about this shit. They refuse to talk about numbers,
Yeah.
right? But from what we've heard from a lot of the developers that have been contacted by the EGS is that those are the two options that they were given, right? To me, I'm with you, Sin. I think it's a bit of a cop out personally. We had indies doing the same exact shit prior to EGS. They were getting it done. They were working their asses off. They were working their tails off. They were getting it out there. And
Mhm.
yes, like you said, early access has been beaten to a pulp, right? People don't like early access anymore, but it's like the same amount of people. I'm sure I can't be 100% accurate with that, but to me, at least, I would rather you go early access on all platforms rather than go exclusive for a platform, right?
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
love early access. I get people are fucking hate it. I love it. I don't know what. I do. Like,
But
I'm a fan.
I can see where you're coming from, Bill. Like if they went early access with this type of game, it's a single player game as far as we know. I don't know if they've released any information for multiplayer. It's
They
like
haven't. They've
it's
released
like
nothing on
if
that
they
realm.
go single player early access, it kind of runs into the same kind of notion that I have with what's that Diablo game that we're looking forward to right now that doesn't have
Last Epoch.
multiplayer. Yeah, they kind of run into the same ish situation what I have personally with Last Epoch is like they keep telling me they're going to put multiplayer into it, but right now I can't play it because it's single player and I get bored.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think early access works a lot better with single player than multiplayer games, like no matter what, anyways. I think early access with multiplayer games, depending on what kind of game it is, if it's just a co-op, it works. But like with some of these, like whatever you want to say, survivals or competitive games, early access, I think is a risky route for those at least. But
Yeah.
with this game, I could see it working out.
I would like to see them go early access, be demoed, the same thing that they got right, in this or whatever else. Maybe give me a little bit more, and that's it.
Or-
Like,
Or
whatever.
even at the very least, if you're going to go EGS exclusive, right? I get it. You got it paid out, right? Why lock the fucking demo behind an EGS exclusivity?
Right. No, absolutely.
You're already going down the
It
exclusive.
might have
route
been
with
in the
game.
contract.
Oh, 100%
Like,
it was in the
just makes-
contract.
yeah,
Mhm.
it just makes no sense to me. Like for it being a demo, they could release it on Steam, give people the access to the demo, and be like, "There you go, you get a taste of the game. It's coming out in 2021. Sorry, not
Especially
sorry."
considering the PS4 controller support didn't
Yeah.
work, and I had to launch it through Steam to get
Exactly.
my controller to sync.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Way to go, Epic.
Maybe it's my hatred for Epic Game Store. It probably has a very very high reason as to why I hate anything that comes out of EGS, but
Hmm.
I just don't see it as a like it's 2020. It's 2020, boys. Like
Yeah.
we're moving down the route of there's no more exclusivity, right?
Well, fuck, we're in 2020. We're moving
And-
down the route where there's no more world. I mean,
And now we have exclusivity on fucking stores. It's stupid as shit.
well, now we have exclusivity on demos. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
Was there
Yeah.
anything about the game that you guys wanted to talk about that I wasn't
uh
available for?
no. I mean, I think
think
we
we-
kind of hit on most of the points. Like I said,
I watched you. I watched Plague play it.
Yeah.
I have a
like,
YouTube video up on it, not to plug or anything, but if y'all are interested in Mortal Shell gameplay, there is that.
The only question I have really, because I didn't get to see too much, is like, how is the worlds and like world design? Is it linear or is it more like you're almost kind of free?
It's pretty linear.
Yeah.
Like
Very linear from what I
each
saw.
it's level based, so you start off in one area. It's wide. It's got a few branching routes, but
Mhm.
it all funnels into one like endpoint. You
Yeah,
go
I mean
to
that's
that
your Souls game.
endpoint.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but
No,
it's
Souls
different.
Souls is pretty open. Souls has got a lot of routes to go
Yeah,
in a lot of different
you
areas,
can.
and
Yeah,
Mhm.
this takes you from one
So this is
level
more
to the
linear
next
than
to the
Souls, you would
next.
say, like the
Yeah,
actual Dark Souls. Oh,
100%.
okay, gotcha.
The closest thing this game reminds me of, as far as its level design and honestly its combat style, is Hellpoint. If you enjoyed Hellpoint's combat, you will
Hellpoint's level
very
design, though, to me seems really dead and kind of bland.
the demo had kind of that bland feel to it as
Yeah.
well, as far
Yeah,
as the levels go. The enemies were really cool. I was a big
Mhm.
fan of the enemy design, but it's you start off generic forest swamp
So-
area and then generic catacombs.
So
Okay.
with that, do we want to move into discussing Hellpoint?
Yeah,
Because I do have a
yeah.
couple of things I want
Yeah.
to talk about Hellpoint.
yeah. So,
To me, like just like you just said, Scruff, like I kind of got turned on to Hellpoint when they went down the EGS exclusivity route, because I was looking through forums and they were like, well, if you're looking forward to this game, maybe try out Hellpoint because it's coming out here fairly shortly. It's a Soulsborne game, or it's a Souls-like game, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I'll go and check it out. I don't know about it, boys. Like Hellpoint looks real rough. It looks like a PlayStation game. Like the fucking graphics on it look terrible, dude. I was watching them. I'm just like, ooh, no.
Yeah, it looks rough around the edges for sure.
yeah, so what inspired me to go pick this game up, or in picking this game up, because I need to do it before the 30th. It launches on the 30th, right? End of this month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is really kind of craving a Souls-like experience. To be 100% honest, like we don't really have anything out right now. That is, I mean, there are games that are out there, but don't scratch the itch enough. For it, you know, there's Elderborn, which is a really cool game, but it's first person and it's still not that. You know, there's other games that are Souls-like, you know, with
Remnant.
yeah, you have Remnant, but also to what the fuck, Blasphemous and things of that nature that, you know, all good, but it still doesn't scratch that real itch of Souls-like. And I watched Bill play it. When I talked to Bill when he was playing it, I was like, dude, this looks like not I don't, the look of the game as far as the enemy design and something, but the world just fucking felt dated and bland and whatever.
That's going to be the selling point for me. Well, I've already pre-ordered it, but that's going to be what really pushes it forward to me, is what they can do to add some location variance to this
Some
game,
spice
because
to it,
I've
yeah.
seen
Yeah.
it time and time again. It was honestly Dead Space, amazing game. It's just a big fucking ship with one metal room after the next metal room
Yeah.
after
Right.
the next metal room. If you can make the interior of a space station interesting to me, you got my attention, because it is so hard. And the fact that they've already like got that laid out, and the demo didn't have much variation at all.
How long was that demo? It was only like what, one level, right?
It was one area.
Yeah, one area. So
One area into one boss,
And-
and then there was also a hidden boss.
and here's the thing too, is that, you know, it's $27. All right, like I can deal with $27. I think 35 is overpriced, but I don't know what the game is yet. Like 35 could be fucking way underpriced. I mean, it could be equivalent to
The
a $60
game has a
game.
lot of promise from like gameplay
It
aspects.
seemed faster. Like the combat in Hellpoint seemed quick as shit. Was that just a build that you were doing? Was just a
that
quick
was
build?
just that build.
Okay.
So that was there's like a speed dagger weapon that naturally attacks very fast, and then you can attach a mod to it which doubles the attack speed.
Yeah.
So I was literally just lawnmowering through things. It was really
Yeah.
So it's got like
Interesting.
modifications and stuff for each weapon.
yeah. And
Yeah.
if we wanted to get into like the mechanics of it and stuff, I can break down a
Yeah,
few of
jump
the
into it.
cooler
Into it, bro.
components.
Yeah.
Get into it.
So
Let's
you got
dig
your
in.
weapon. You got your weapons, and your weapons are like your standard Souls-like weapons. They do their thing. You need so many points in each stat to use them, and then they scale off of a stat independently. The game's got its standard Souls-like leveling system with like a strength scaling, a dex scaling, and then there's two different types of magic. I can't remember what they're called, but there's two different types of magic. And all that fun stuff, right? Well, there's also a weapons mod system where you can attach a mod to any of the weapons. From what I gathered, any mod can attach to any weapon, and it adds a bonus mechanic to that weapon. So, like I was saying with the dagger, I had a speed mod attached, which doubled the attack speed. There's a little mana bar underneath of your health bar. It uses up some of that. Your attack speed goes through the roof. It's
Question.
on. It's
Question.
on like a 30-second timer.
Question.
Uh-huh.
They got a little blue pill that makes it so you can harden.
Oh my god,
No.
shut the fuck up. Get out of here.
Damn it.
But the other cool thing about these mods is it adds bonus scaling. Each of these mods has a scaling system of their own. So, like with that dagger in the speed mod was bonus dex scaling. So if I slap that on a dex weapon, it's going to increase the dex scaling on that weapon. Or say I put that speed mod on the greatsword. I activate the ability. The greatsword is now swinging at like a reasonable pace because those big weapons are so slow in that game. But that greatsword also now has an increase in dex scaling. So you can kind of use the mods to wrap weapons into your build that you wouldn't necessarily be able to regularly, as long as you have the base stats for them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought that was really neat. There are some other mods, like one of the mods increases the length of your weapon, so you get more reach
Oh,
out of it,
really?
and like lightsaber effects out of the end of it.
So you can't get hard, but you can increase the length.
Decrease
Right.
length,
Yes.
but you
Yeah.
can't
Cool.
get hard. Great.
You
Got
can
it.
also add the fire and ice effect if that's something you're into. There's mods that added fire to your blade.
You got the
and
icy hot
they're-
patches. Pop it
yeah,
on your
and
back.
there are mods that add poison to your blade. And each weapon has a familiarity system. So the more you use that weapon, you'll bump up a bar, and at certain breakpoints in that bar, you'll unlock different abilities with that weapon or a mod itself
Yeah,
that
I
you can then take out of that weapon and put into a different weapon.
Yeah,
So some of the
I
mods are
saw
locked
something
by.
about that. It seemed interesting that you have kind of like a scaling level with your weapons, which is one thing that I kind of find interesting when it comes to these types of games, because it's like so many times you see from these like RPG systems or these Souls, like you get one weapon that you're only going to use for like 2 fucking levels, and then it's completely trash. But it's like, I like that weapon. Why can't I take that to end?
Right.
Well,
You know?
see, I actually go the other route and have a problem where and what I like, what it sounds like Hellpoint is doing is fixing that, where it is, I find a weapon that I do like and I never fucking switch out of it. With Bloodborne, I was very much of like, I found my set, I found my setup, and that's what I rolled with, and I leveled it the fuck up, and I kept moving with it and did it until the very end. And
That's what yeah.
you know,
This
so
game's going to give you a lot more flexibility in what you can do, just because you're not locked as much behind your build as you were before. Yes, you're still going to have optimal weapons for whatever you're going for, but this will at least allow you to experiment with other things
yeah.
in the
Is it-
meantime.
So the question that I have is it anything? What was the other Souls like game that you ran around in like an exoskeleton? I always forget the fucking.
How about
name of it.
Oh,
the
Surge.
Surge?
Surge?
No,
Yeah, is
it's
it
nothing
anything
like
like
the
Surge?
Surge.
Nothing like
No,
it. Okay.
Surge was super duper clunky, and
I did. Yeah, I didn't like
Yeah,
Surge.
I-
Like when it came down to it, like that
You
that
bastards.
same kind of play style, I was just like, nah.
Surge wasn't a bad game.
Yeah, but it was clunky for a reason. Like, let's get something straight. It was clunky because you were literally a dude in a fucking exosuit that, like, it was. I took it as being meant to be
That's a
clunky.
cop
There's
out.
It's not a cop out.
Point that you get.
Kidding.
There's a point that you get to when you're like, is it too clunky to be fun? Right?
Mortal
Like, I'm
Shell's
playing
got
this
that
game
kind
to
of
be
clunk
a
to it
game.
as well, but
Yeah.
it's the fact that you're basically a ghost zombie
Yeah.
that's maneuvering a corpse that's been laying on the ground for who knows how long.
So hold on a second. So we
And
give
hardens
that
and
a fucking
corpses.
buy, but the guy that is bolted into a fucking huge ass exosuit, we don't give a buy for being clunky.
No,
I liked the Surge. I didn't think they were bad games.
I
think
don't
their
give either
boss
of them a
designs
pass.
is- Um,
I personally, when it came down to that first shell that you were playing in, I thought it was slow as shit. I didn't like it. I would never play in that shell.
but the second shell you were more about.
The second
because he
shell was better,
faster.
yeah, because he was faster. The movement was a little bit more fluid. I was like, okay, that's not bad.
I
You
think
know,
what
and,
Enigma's
like,
really
as
looking
long as you
for-
get an option.
I think what
Hard,
you're really looking
bro.
for is a necromancer.
No,
Right?
I'm looking for hard.
Yeah, he just wants to get hard all the time. He just wants to stay
Um,
hard.
Reeling it back into Hellpoint, though, there's one other mechanic I want to cover because I think it's what their hardening is, and
Okay.
it's the fact that so the space station, the setup and everything, you're on a space station orbiting a black hole, and the Eldritch bullshit is coming out of the black hole and invading the spaceship. But as you're rotating, around that spaceship, there's a dial up in your top corner, and it's on a timer system. It rotates once every hour in game time, like real time. And on
Wait,
different
wait, wait.
points
You
in
said
that
in
dial,
you said in game time and then real time. Is it
sorry, in real time.
So it's got
Real
like a
time and
corruption
in-game time are
system.
the same. 1 hour in game is 1 hour IRL.
son of
Gotcha.
a bitch?
Jeez,
That's
okay.
yeah, that's crazy.
So as that rotates, there's different markers on that dial, and as you get like your time into those things, different things in the environment will happen. So in the demo that they have out, if you're on between the 7-minute mark and the 14-minute mark on one end, and then whatever the equivalent of that is on the other end, it locks you out of the central area. And if you want to access that central area again, you have to go in and fight a horde mode style
interesting.
situation.
I thought you were gonna go down like a corruption
Nah.
system of some sort.
No
Yeah.
corruption system. It just
I kind of
ma-
like corruption systems, honestly. Like if they would add something in there that was like the darkest dungeon darkness levels, I enjoy that kind of
right.
shit.
See,
Yeah, and they very well may depending on the level.
Yeah.
Some levels might
Mhm.
have it so that every time you hit a 15-minute mark, some bad shit happens to you. But the cool thing about, like what I was saying with the center area getting locked out, you can only do this event during that like 15-minute window on each side.
Mhm.
And then if you do end up doing that, it gave you a bunch of XP and a weapon.
Nice.
yeah.
So you have to. It's basically giving you incentive to wait that kind of stuff
So it
out.
rewards you
And the
for-
optional boss was locked behind a 5-minute window for its door being open. So if you weren't
Mhm.
there waiting at that boss's door to go in, you weren't going to fight it until the next hour.
That's cool.
That's kind of
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
I can see that as kind of annoying though. Like you have to wait an hour to get whatever
But-
boss you're looking for.
You
That's,
better be on
that's
top of
only
it.
if you're that's only if you're hunting that. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all,
Does time progress even if you're not in the game? So like if you log in at like
It
12:40,
does.
you're
I believe as
Okay,
long as
so
you
that-
have it installed in your system, it goes off your IRL
that's kind of
timer.
cool then. Okay, that's a little bit better. I
well, fucking
was
cheat
under
that
the
system.
assumption
Don't
you
worry
had
about
to
that,
sit
buddy.
there
I'm gonna
and
change
wait
my
for
fucking
Right.
time.
We're about to Animal Crossing.
Exactly. I was gonna say I'm gonna Animal Cross the hell out of that. Just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
like 5 minutes,
awesome.
you bitch. So
The cool with that timer as well, as it hits the poles, so the 15-minute marks and stuff are where I don't know if it's going to be for every level, but as it rotates, there's certain areas like enemies will get stronger at one point, and then they'll wane off and get weaker at the other. So,
Mhm.
and
So there's plus
certain-
and downs to it.
and minuses, yeah. So if you want to wait out the enemies, like if they're in a buff mode right now, and you want to wait that out, you can. They'll
Yeah.
gradually go down. It'll also spawn like random mid bosses wandering through the map just randomly there.
yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool too. And they drop materials that are only exclusive to them.
So question for you: since you have played both,
uh-huh.
compare give me a quick comparison of which one you like better.
5-minute rundown. Go.
5-minute rundown. Mortal
These are
Shell.
both demos, right?
These are
These are
both
one-
demos.
When you played them.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Mortal Shell, weighty but with a purpose. Everything feels very deliberate in that game, and I didn't enjoy it as much the first time I played it because I was playing it dodge style, and that's not the way it's intended. Once I went through and actually started like actively using the hardening system and the parry systems, it was a lot more enjoyable. The game intends for you not to be bouncing around like a ninja. It intends for you to get up in somebody's face and stay there. Yes, the rogue class does have that like smoke out where you just fade and like blink somewhere else for your dodge. It does cater to that playstyle if you want to go that route, but you're still going to have to make use of that central mechanic.
And those were just the 2 shells that you had access to in the
Yeah.
beta.
Yeah.
Have they
Do we-
released how many shells they're actually going to have?
They had shadows for 6
Okay.
or 8, I believe. I'm not sure which one.
So you
I
got
can't
a
remember.
little bit of a choice.
Has there been any word about DLC in this game?
No,
No word.
not for either of them. As
Okay.
for Hellpoint, it's the most tried and true, like closest to a Dark Souls game set in space. It follows the standard Dark Souls formula a lot closer than what Mortal Shells does. Its risks come from its adding a jump button and platforming mechanics, and its timer system. I think those are the two big things that are going to set it apart. The mod system is cool, and I think it adds a lot of build variety, but I don't think it's as influential as those two systems are. And whether they're executed poorly or non-poorly is going to make or break the game, as well as both games suffering from we've seen this shit already environments. As of right now, I would probably give it to Mortal Shell just a little bit as far as which one I'm looking forward to the most, just because it is the most unique experience. My channel is based around the Souls-like games, so I'm kind of like, I wouldn't say burnt out, but it's refreshing to Mortal Shell was refreshing in comparison. So that's where my stake lies in it currently.
See, yeah. I mean, maybe it's because I haven't dived into a Souls-like game in a minute. That Hellpoint's environment and world turns me on more than what Mortal Shell does, because
I 100% agree with you.
Because like I've seen, Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Demon Souls. It's all in that
it's a bit of a change.
Yeah,
when
it's
it
that
comes to Hellpoint.
gloomy, whatever. This is Lovecraftian in space, and I saw one of the guys. It's like a fucking weird clown looking thing. It doesn't fit space, but it's like that's fucking weird, and I like it, and like I want to go down that route.
Yeah, that enemy race is called the Thespians, and they're all based off of like old school like theater attire.
Yeah,
so, like your jesters, your court hands.
That's awesome.
Like that kind of
all
shit.
that
That kind of shit makes me like very interested, and honestly, the jumping. Like I
can jump.
One of the things in Dark Souls games that has pissed me off among more times than not is that I'm this dude who doesn't know how to jump, and like, I understand why I'm doing it, and I think that they nailed it with like Bloodborne did it, in my opinion, movement the best. But it does interest me very much because I want to know, like like you said, if they do it right. Like there's a platforming element that we've not seen in these games at all. And if they can add platforming and do it properly, they can knock it out of the park.
Right. Platforming is like water levels. It's real hit or miss on whether it's amazing or whether it's the worst experience you're ever going to go through.
Right.
Yeah.
But I 100% agree with everything you said. The environment, the lore, like everything about Hellpoint from a game, like looking at it from an outside window, it really appeals to me.
Right.
Mortal Shell is more of your generic medieval slash 'em up Souls-like, but it felt really good, and it's the gameplay aspects of it were significantly refreshing for me.
Well, what turned me off about Mortal Shell that I was hoping was not going to happen was that watching people play it, as you switch shells, it kicks you back to where you're going to go, like all the way back, and resets like a bonfire. And now you got to go back through the map, right?
No, it doesn't.
The couple of ones I saw, they went and they switched up to the different shell, and he had to go back. I was watching Lyric do it a couple times, and it reset. He went from like the whatever that one slashy dashy one is to Harvos, and it reset the map in the world.
I don't believe so, because you have idols that let you swap on the fly.
Maybe he didn't use the idol. Maybe he was just swapping. I don't know.
But the swap itself is only in like that one location. Like the body is laying in the crypt area on.
Right. I'm saying like if you're out in the world, like you've gone past the crypt and now you just killed a couple enemies and now you want to go back and swap, like to go transport back and swap.
Oh, you
to
have
that.
to go back. Yes. Okay. There are idols that let you swap on the fly. You have to learn the shell's name and like do some leveling with that shell to unlock the idol, and they are limited use, but there is methods for you to swap out on the fly if you so choose.
Even during like boss fights and stuff.
Yeah, like I said, it's a usable item.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you're in a shell that's not suited to the boss that you're fighting, I'm pretty sure that you can, if you have an idol for the shell that you want to swap to, you can just pop that, you'll materialize into the next shell, and then the boss fight like continues. Like I think it's pretty seamless.
If that's the case, that might be better.
I only did it once, and I believe that's how it worked.
Okay, I'm interested because I've watched a couple and I saw it like they had it basically bonfired them back and that world reset, and to me I was like, that's not like I want to be able to swap those shells pretty fluidly, like, you know, kind of in and out. Or in the case of if it's not going to be that, then I want to, and this is actually what I was really, really hoping for, was that I kill an enemy, I inhabit that body. Like, to me, that would have been a fucking cool way to go.
Yeah,
That would have been cool too.
Originally, that's what I thought it was gonna be, because like originally they kind of made it sound like you would just go and kill an enemy and you could inhabit it. Like that's what I got out of the initial like videos that we had, because the way that they made it sound, it was like you can inhabit a body, and then they showed a bunch of like boss fights, right? And I was like, okay, cool, you can like inhabit a boss. Like, that's fucking sick.
Right.
Like I was watching Plagued do the big bad boy, the gigantic dude, and I was like, dude, how cool would it be if you could make that your fucking
Right.
Yeah.
I think the way, and I think this is why weapons aren't locked to shells. I think they want you to commit to 1 or 2 shells throughout your playthrough, because as
Makes
you
sense.
level up your shells, you learn more lore about them and different things unlock for that shell, and that's with every item in the game.
Right.
Every
like
item you
abilities
pick
and
up, the
stuff.
first time you pick it up, it'll tell you, do not know what this does, use it to find out. And
Yeah,
as you
honestly.
continue to use those items, their effects may change. Like, there's a mushroom in that game. You pick it up, don't know what the fuck it does. You eat it, oh shit, I'm being poisoned for 40 damage per
So
second, and I die.
You can get hard and eat shrooms.
Oh yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Bro.
But
What do you
so
know about
you
either
eat that
one of
mushroom-
those, Scruff?
You eat that mushroom and it kills you, right?
Yeah.
And then the next time you eat that mushroom, it's like, oh, from you eating it the first time, your body now has poison resistance.
You're
and
now
this mushroom,
hardened twice as much.
this mushroom increases that poison resistance, and you're immune to poisons for the next.
You
2
have
minutes.
discovered Viagra.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. All right. Well, in any case,
it did one thing really quickly that I wanted to kind of, because
if you do a hard on joke, I swear to God, I'm booting you out of this call.
I'm not. Shut up, get out of here.
Hey, don't be too
No,
hard on him.
the one thing that I had been
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the one thing that I had been mentioning to like Plagued was it gives me really heavy Warframe vibes almost, because like I don't know if you guys have played Warframe or not. I don't know if you played through the story of Warframe or not. No, we're gonna take.
I mean,
silence as a no.
I've played it. Yeah.
Essentially what Warframes are is their shells.
Yeah.
That's essentially what they are, and then you inhabit the shell. You're like you're like this beefed up fucking mental whatever, you know. You're like a void touch character that can take control of these old shells and such. And I found it kind of interesting because Warframe kind of has the same thing. Is like you learn more about your Warframe the more that you use them. You know, you learn more about your weapons the more that you use them. You can like upgrade them and shit. That kind of sparked my interest in it, alongside it being like a Warframe Dark Souls, right? So it looks kind of good. I wish they wouldn't gone down the Epic Game Store. We won't bring that up again, but you know, I'll probably try it out when it comes on Steam. One likely.
Yeah.
The cool thing is these are both like I think both indie devs and both like first games for these
They're
devs.
both first games
Yeah.
for these devs.
Yeah.
They're both going very different routes with the Souls formula, but
Mhm.
they're both making steps to try to like make their own mark. They're both
to make
going
them
in a
unique.
route-
I'm interested to see, was Hellpoint, or do we know if Hellpoint was originally slated to launch in the end of July? Like originally, was it supposed to be this? Or did
no,
we not
it
know?
got delayed due to COVID.
I wonder if so. Yeah, maybe delayed to COVID, but I also wonder if it was one thing. If it's not, it's perfect timing, man. Like they capitalized again very heavily on like, oh, you guys you can't play Mortal Shell. You can play Hellpoint. Like,
Yeah.
here you go. You know what I mean? Like it's again brilliant. And that's the case. So I'm just wondering if there was maybe some marketing play. I'm sure someone somewhere was like, we need to go now. Like this is our time to go, because I'm sure
They
it
did an
definitely-
announcement stream with it all, where they released the new release date, and I think it was like sometime last week. It was like either the 4th or the 6th is when they did that. So I don't know if that lines up with when.
It kind of lines up because they did announce they didn't like make a big announcement, but at the PC gaming show
Yeah.
At the end of Mortal Shell's trailer, it had a big old Epic Game Store logo on it.
Yeah.
So,
So I
Yeah.
bet there's a coincidence there as to why that game is now launching.
I mean,
now.
it's probably yeah.
Could be
Probably a
waiting.
couple of good bets on it. Yeah.
No. Cool.
But
well,
the Hellpoint team have been really, really good about their Twitter presence and making sure everybody's aware of. They've been very transparent with their audience and stuff. And even after they delayed the initial release date, they've been updating the demo with the stuff that they've been working on,
Nice.
like post when the original game was supposed
That's
to be
good.
launching, just to show that they're still working on it.
maybe I'll have a Hellpoint banner up there here soon if it's good enough. So,
I really want that game to be good.
yeah, so do I. I miss playing a good Souls game that's not Souls out. So
Now we need Bloodborne 2.
yeah, I need Bloodborne 2 so badly.
Elden Ring.
Or
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. Yep.
So, kind of wrapping up the show again, guys. We have, this is the part where we talk about our last topic or two, and we open this guys up, to questions. So, chat, if you are live, if you are here, whether you're on my channel, Bill's channel, or Scruffy's channel, go ahead and put your questions into the chat. You don't have to put it in any specific person's channel. We will be able to read all of them, and get to them. Please kind of keep it related back to the topics that we did talk about, or at least something in its vicinity. It doesn't have to be,
Sure.
it doesn't have to be, don't ask us like what's our favorite hot dog topping. But in any case,
Chili cheese.
so that's because of 7 Days to Die. We didn't even talk about 7 Days to Die. God,
Oh, we didn't.
bro.
We did.
Oh
That
my
game,
God.
Right.
Okay, next week.
Yep. Well, we can talk about that on the next episode. So someone put in here about next gen prices. Did this come out that they were upping the next gen, the pricing came out?
$70 is.
I think it's a-
Oh, you're
something
talking about
that's-
the game's price point.
Have they
Yeah.
actually confirmed it? Because I think
It's
I
not
thought it was
confirmed by
rumored.
everybody. It's rumored, but
Yeah.
it's.
I can see it
looking more-
happening. Like
Yeah, it's looking more and more
100%.
to be confirmed with the amount
Fucking
of
bullshit.
dev time that goes into these games. It makes sense. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
As we go into a digital fucking world, it makes sense to up the price of a game when
We'll
you're
forward-
cutting your cost for a physical copy.
yeah, I never.
How does that
understood
make
it.
sense?
I
What's-
never understood it. Like when they went up from being $49.99 to $59.99, and then they told me that they told everybody that was because discs are expensive. I'm like, no, they're not.
Yeah,
They're going off the dev costs, being the reason.
if that's the case, then movies should
Dev
be
costs for the
fucking
new- for the
like
next,
buying a movie should cost me like $170. I mean, like if it's truly the case of dev cost of how much it costs to build these games, a movie costs a hell of a lot more. I get a shorter experience and it's cheaper. Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Did I win a conversation without having to argue?
No comments, man.
Holy
Yeah.
hell! I win.
I'm right there with you. So
Like-
I don't personally find that boosting them to almost $70, if not $70 in general,
It-
is worth it because that's USD, right? We're talking USD. It's already like $80 in fucking Canada or Oz, right? Aussie. It's like $70 in Canada already. That's gonna boost the fucking price of games in Oz to 100, right?
Yeah,
And
That's
70 to
outrageous.
$80 in fucking Canada.
I people are saying, and people in chat are being like, oh, well, it's about, but really it's a time for a price hike. Like it's about time and blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. Like
About time for drop.
honest to
Yeah, it should
God,
be
it should be going the other way. Like yes, we are,
You've literally removed one whole process of distribution out of the fucking equation by going digital.
not just that, but also too, like the efficiency. The reason things cost so much before was because the amount of effort that had to go in to develop these games was a lot more time consuming and difficult. And also too, the people that knew how to do this was a lot limited. Now your teams are a lot larger, which, whatever, yes, that costs more money, but the amount of time and effort that it takes to put into these games is also shorter. And developing for these games is also easier than what it was back in the day because systems are in place, things exist, computers are a lot more powerful, all of these other kind of things. So the reality is that it shouldn't get anywhere more expensive. It should actually go the other way, and go down. And like some people in chat are saying, like there's also surprise mechanics that are being put into the fucking game, like or whatever.
Well, not just surprise mechanics too. They're completely ripping games apart to further sell them for DLC these days.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You're not getting the full experience of a game anymore.
And
Like
then
you're getting a very select portion of the game, and then you're being drip fed content throughout the entire rest of the time that you have the fucking.
which is
motion of the
cutting
game.
which is also cutting floor content.
Yeah.
Like that's
remake, and they split it up
What's
in
up?
Final Fantasy VII remake. They
Yeah.
put all of that up into like
Yeah.
different episodes.
Yeah.
And you're still paying full price. They'll probably fucking boost the price of that game when it fucking releases too.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with the concept of it makes sense to upgrade because these games are now like 4K and high fidelity and how much it costs to make these games. Nah, bro. Like
Ray tracing.
do what? Oh
And
yeah,
there's
the fucking ray tracing. I need the extra $10 for ray tracing. Well, go ahead.
I just want to know what the
Yeah, shut
dollar
up.
per triangle is.
We've got $1 per pixel, right?
Dollar per per pixel.
I don't know. It's just not so. Again, guess what, guys? Like, this is why I refuse to buy a console. This is why I refuse to enter that world. Like, and I just told my son this to like I've gotten him into DBD and he loves playing Dead by Daylight and he's like, oh, I want to buy the game. I was like, well, we're going to you're getting a new computer and you'll be able to do it there. Like it's cheaper. And he's like, oh, it can't be that much cheaper. And I pulled up Dead by Daylight. I was like, oh, really? Because Dead by Daylight right now is $20 and I can get all of this content. Yours is not only is my like chapters for that game normally $5, for him it's 10, and I can get all the content for 20 and he has to spend 80. So
Now watch, they're gonna jack the price up on the digital PS5. For being digital, it's gonna go up.
oh yeah, I 100% think that system will either be the same price or it won't be more expensive, but it'll be the same price. It won't.
I honestly think it should be cheaper, but
I think it
they're
should be a
probably
lot
not gonna do
cheaper. So, but yeah. Cool. Well, we're going to open it up. We've got 5 minutes, guys, to open it up to the chat for questions from you guys. While we do that, we will go ahead and give you guys a few moments to enter, but we'll also tell you guys again, you can catch us if you're not here live. We do stream this live on Twitch on all of our channels every single time that we do this, every other Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. You can catch it on twitch.tv. It's technically /S1N3N, twitch.tv /Agent Scruffy, or twitch.tv /Billy_the_squid, spelled SKWID. You can watch in all of our channels. We have a multi-stream setup so you can watch from every different perspective if that is your thing. But if you are watching this live and you didn't get to catch all of it, you can also go to our Spotify and click on there and get our content on Spotify. We have everything up to date except for last week's episode, and then this week's episode will be coming up as well. So you'll be all the way caught up. And we're also up on YouTube where you can go get our content there and get watch the show if you want to actually watch it versus just listening to it. And we got 24 hours worth of content like up on Spotify right now, so that is awesome. You could literally watch a day's
Over, man, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it as I'm uploading. I'm sitting here editing and I'm looking at the timestamps and everything. And I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
We got a lot of fucking hours, man.
But let me tell you something. One of my most enjoyable things to do is literally on a long car ride, pop a fucking podcast in and just go down the road listening to it. Like, it's great. I love it. I love it to death. It's one of my guilty pleasures. So,
Make sure you guys go over there, hit that follow button. We try and post. Usually we try and post the new episode, the last week's episode, I should say, the week of the episode. That's like today. We're probably going to post the 13th episode tonight. If Scruff can get it to me. So look for that. You can usually get the last week's episode within the week that we have the current episode. So
yep. I do have two questions in my chat that are pretty easy and straightforward. So both of these actually come from Plagued Nemesis. Well, the first one is, have we talked about Horizon coming to the PC? So yes, we did. We've actually talked about that in length in a couple of episodes ago. You can get those episodes on Spotify or YouTube. Just saying. We have, and my kind of feelings on this is that, is it something that I'm super excited for? I'm interested to see what it is and to necessarily kind of play it. It looks kind of cool, but at the same time, like, I feel that it's too late. It's a little too late for the game. I don't know what you guys think.
I'm very excited about it. I think the reason I couldn't play, like, I have that game for PlayStation, I didn't enjoy it because I needed that more accurate aiming style for it, and I feel like mouse and keyboard will help that out a lot.
Yeah, I'm
make
kind of
my enjoyment of the game a lot more.
kind of the same way. I'm kind of looking forward to it just simply because I've heard a lot about it. It's got nothing but rave reviews. People say a lot of good things about it, and if it's coming to PC, then obviously it's going to be on a better, more superior, platform.
Ooh,
Just saying.
all right.
Console.
And the big conversation from all this is kind of an opening the door, a little gateway to when other Sony exclusives can come to PC.
I need fucking Bloodborne.
For honestly, because I'm not personally like too into it, but like I'm glad to see it's coming. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good sign. Like if they're willing, because that was a big seller for them. Like that was a big hit for them. And if they're willing to get that and bring that over to PC, are they going to be willing to bring like Spider-Man over? They're going to be
Spider-Man won't
willing to
ever
bring
come
like
over.
Ghost of Tsushima over.
Yeah. Spider-Man won't come over. Ghost of Tsushima maybe. Spider-Man won't. I need Bloodborne. I need fucking Bloodborne on PC.
I don't know. I never thought that we would see like Bloodborne or anything like that over here, but there's rumors that it's coming. So
yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. The other question was about New World and saying, have we talked about New World? This was also from Plague Nemesis. We have not talked about New World, mainly for the fact that it's still NDA'd. Enigma can't talk about it. He actually is in the alpha. He has played the game. He cannot talk about what's going on with it.
The most I can tell you is don't be jelly of me.
It's here's the thing: is that game has changed direction several times over, and
I can talk about stuff that they've already released. I can talk about the stuff that they've leaked. I can talk about that kind of stuff. And,
when is that game supposed to
stuff that
alpha?
It's within this month. I think it's coming. It's releasing. I think later this month, isn't it?
Okay.
It's releasing? Like, is it going into early access?
No, it's releasing.
August 25th is the release. I thought that was early access. Was the 25th?
Nope.
Full blown release, really? And they're still NDA. They're still NDAing it, huh?
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's why I'm like, why haven't you lifted the NDA yet? We're literally.
That's why Doc got banned.
Fucking weeks.
That's why, because he talked about he did it. That's what we've come full circle. That's why.
But yeah, to talk a little bit about what they've already released, like they don't know where they're going. Unfortunately, they don't really have a direction. I don't think that by the time that they release, it'll have a direction. It still, to me, doesn't have a direction, whether it wants to be a PvP or PvE, MMO, survival. What does it want to be? Like, they label it as an MMO, but it's not really an MMO. It's like a survival.
It's $60
but
too,
then
right?
Then they label it as a P. What's 60? That?
Is it 60?
I don't think so.
I would say most I'd pay for is like 30.
40. Yeah, it's 40. It's $39.99 for pre-purchase right now. $49.99 for the deluxe edition. But yeah, that's my biggest thing. Is it just doesn't have a direction currently, or at least from what they've released. Right, like it's very confusing as to what they wanted to do. The stuff that they've actually released, like the mechanics, it's just muddled. I don't think that Amazon Game Studios knows what the fuck they're doing with it.
Well,
that came out with Crucible.
That brings up the next question, which basically from Plague Nemesis again, saying, so thoughts on Amazon Game Studio? Is this being, is this going to be their third failed project?
if they can't figure out the way that they want it to go by the time that it releases, maybe.
Well, I think it's too late. You're not gonna, Bo. If did I just say Bo?
I'm completely. I agree with you. Yeah, right now, if they're releasing August 25th to full release, if that's what they're doing and they're not going early access, then yeah, it's too late. But as far as I know, it's full release.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Crucible was fucking, not terrible. It just I don't know. It was not. It was not.
missing-
Yeah,
it
it was
was
missing a
missing
lot.
something.
It didn't have
Yeah.
feeling behind it. What is that other? What's the other game that they launched?
Yeah, I don't know.
Amazon had
Oh, fucking
New
remember,
World,
yeah.
this, and there was something else that Amazon launched. They didn't launch Hyperspace, did they?
I don't even know
No,
what that was.
no, that's Ubisoft.
Ubisoft launched Hyperspace.
Oh, Hyper Escape,
Is it Hyper Escape? Is that what the fucking game is called?
Hyper Escape, or
Yeah,
whatever.
They had
Oh.
they had a racing game of some sort. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah. It regardless, if we don't know what it's called, it's all.
Yeah, obviously it's
Yeah,
not that
it's,
great.
Yeah,
We haven't heard of it. Like it's obviously not like I mean we don't know a lot of game. You know, like I like to pride myself on knowing a lot about the gaming community and games that are coming out. But if you haven't heard of a big new release from a big new studio like Amazon Games, like it's obviously failed already.
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, cool. So that ends the show. What I will tell you is that the next episode, I already have topics lined up for next episode. One of which is going to be Ashes of Creation, new MMO that, well, not new, but well, I don't know how to explain what Ashes of Creation is, but that's going to be on the next show. We should be able to talk a little bit. We're going to go a little bit more in depth on New World, that with what we can and cannot talk about. Then also WoW will be on the docket because they had their release today, I believe, if not yesterday. I think it was yesterday. They had their kind of release and tease and talk about like what Shadowfall, what the fuck?
Shadowlands.
Shadowlands is going to be. And then we are going to also talk about, we do need to talk about Hyper Escape or Hyperspace or whatever the fuck that game is called that Ubisoft launched. It's a BR, it's out there. I am going to, as much as I am over BRs and kind of doing this, I am actually going to download the Ubisoft launcher as much as I hate it. And I am going to play this game so I can come here with a valid, opinion on that game. And we obviously will most likely be talking about the new, League of Legends hero that comes out, and then I'm sure Twitch will give us something amazing to talk about because Twitch
yeah,
will always.
I'm
is
sure
something
that
amazing.
Twitch will open the gift giving,
Of
Yeah,
box
definitely.
of drama.
course
Definitely.
they will. So on behalf of the entire Pre-Patch Podcast team, thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out. It has been an amazing, amazing show as always. They keep getting better, man. We're like a fine wine. We just kind of keep going and going and going. And as we age, we just get more sexy, more beautiful, and just
And we harden.
And
Oh,
I was
wow.
gonna say it, man.
Jesus Christ. Next episode, you guys will not see Scruffy and or Enigma because they are going to be removed from the
Too much
show.
hardening, man.
Yep.
But in any case, like I said before, guys, tune in live if you want to on all of our Twitch channels, or can come in and check out the podcast on Spotify or on YouTube. The links are in our channels. They're also down below in our panels. Thank you again so much to Sunspire Bay for the amazing new artwork that we have. It looks amazing. Don't be a fucking space cadet. Pay your fucking artist. Guys, we will see you in 2 weeks at 10 p.m. Eastern right here on all of our channels. You guys have an amazing, amazing, amazing night. See ya.